Time to recap today's game. This is Trailblazer postgame. All right, welcome back inside the UCCU Center here in Orem, Utah. It's a final. Utah Tech losing to Utah Valley by 16, 92-76. Trailblazer dropped to 2-2 in conference play. 9-9 overall. And they're now 4-6 on the road. Next up, we'll head back home for 2. UT Arlington Thursday night, 7 o'clock in Burns Arena, then Tarleton State Saturday at 7 o'clock. And both of those games came into today tied with Utah Tech at 2-1 in conference play. So the score may say a 16-point win for Utah Valley, but it was a much better ball game than that. Trailblazers took the lead by 1 about 3 minutes into the second half, and then a few calls did not go the way of the Trailblazers. Technical foul on Coach Judkins, and well-deserved because he needed to get after the official because they called the third personal foul on Ethan Potter, and it was not even close to being a foul. And so that turned a 1-point lead. Then you had 2 technical free throws there, and then another phantom foul on Chance Trujillo, and he got a technical. 2 more free throws. Trailblazer did get 2 technicals on Trevin Lenhart when when he made a basket and got fouled and started chirping back at Trujillo. But anyway, things did not go the Trailblazers' way about 3 minutes into the second half, and kind of lost their composure a little bit, and things went downhill after that. Utah Tech played some good ball for much of the first half. They started off the game 9 turnovers in the first 9 minutes, and points off turnovers for Utah Valley, 23 points. And then they started to put it together and play some really good basketball the final 12 minutes of the first half, and they had a 5-point lead with about a minute and a half left, and then Utah Valley went on a 6-0 run to take a 1-point lead into the locker room. And if you see us jiggling here, we're on a podium, and when people walk by, they kind of shake it. So bear with us on that. Leading the way for Utah Tech was Jushaun Holt, Juice. He had 15 points on 5 of 13 shooting, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, and he also had 3 assists and 1 rebound, so 15 points for Juice. Trujillo with 12 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 of 10 from the floor, 0 for 5 from beyond the arc after going 5 for 9 a couple of games ago against Abilene Christian, but he was 8 for 8 from the free throw line. Ethan Potter came on and played. He was saddled with 4 personal fouls, and he only got to play 24 minutes. He's usually up around 35, 37 minutes. He finished with 12 points in his return after playing 3 seasons here at Utah Valley. He had 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists for Ethan Potter. Noah Belonga, 11 points on 4 of 9 shooting, 2 for 5 from beyond the arc. How about Dario Domingos? Came in when Potter was in foul trouble, played nearly 9 minutes, scored 11 points, 5 for 5 shooting, 1 for 1 from beyond the arc, and he also had 4 rebounds. So 11 points, 4 rebounds in just under 9 minutes. His best game as a Trailblazer. Tanner Davis, he also struggled with foul trouble as well. 2 for 7 shooting, but he 4 for 5 from the free throw line. He finished with 8 points and 4 rebounds and a steal for Tanner Davis. So Utah Tech on the game shot 26 for 55 from the floor, 47% They were 6 of 18 from beyond the arc, 33%, 18 of 21 from the foul line. And for Utah Valley, they were 31 of 62, 50% from the floor, 6 of 19 from three-point land, and they went to the free throw line 27 times. They were 24 of 27. So this is a 21st straight win at home for Utah Valley, and you can understand why. They go to the free throw line a lot, and they shoot well and play well here, and they deserve what they get. They went to the free throw line 27 times because they were aggressive. And they shot in those 20 straight home wins coming into today. They shot about 55% from the floor. Today they shot 50. So they're averaging over 50% from the floor in their 21 straight home wins. But we get these guys back in Burns Arena on February 12th, and then the last game of the season. Trailblazers can beat this team. Okay, they were right there. They just could not handle some of the calls that did not go their way, and they kind of got frustrated. Trailblazers are as good as Utah Valley. I will say that right now. They just got to learn how to be as good as Utah Valley, if that makes sense. So can't wait for them to come back to Burns Arena. I think it's going to be a completely different ball game when things don't go the Trailblazers' way, and can't wait for that. But first things first, we head back home for 2 next week after 2 tough games here this week. A loss at California Baptist, the preseason pick to win it all, and then a loss here to Utah Valley, the regular season champs from a year ago, and the preseason pick to finish second in the conference. So 2 tough games this week, 2 more tough games next week against Arlington on Thursday and Tarleton State on Saturday. Those guys, those teams were tied with Utah Tech coming into today for second place in the Western Athletic Conference at 2-1. So crucial games at home. Got to take care of business at home. Trailblazers continue to play like they are playing, but longer periods of time. And when things don't go well, that they can get past that. And something that they weren't able to do here this afternoon. But Trailblazers lose their second in a row. They played well, really well for about 13, 14 minutes of that first half, and then the first couple of minutes of the second half, but just could not keep it going and could not get over some adverse conditions that calls and just some balls that didn't go their way. And they come up on the short end of the stick and lose it by 16, 92 to 76. All right, we're going to take a break. Still waiting for head coach John Judkins to come and talk to us here in Orem. And the Trailblazers come up short against the Wolverines in the Old Hammer rivalry. 12th edition, the final time we'll play here in this building as conference opponents, as Utah Tech will be moving on to the Big Sky next year, and Utah Valley will be moving on to the Big West. Take a break, come back, hopefully talk to Coach John Judkins after this.
Welcome to Utah Tech University. From classrooms to cliffs and lectures to lakes. Here, we celebrate active learning, active life. Our Trailblazers learn by doing, are career ready, and solve real problems with real partners to meet community needs. Here, students get the full college experience and choose from 300 affordable academic programs. All in one of the most stunning destinations on Earth. With this as your backyard, life is just as active as your education. Come experience active learning, active life at Utah Tech University.
Back here in Orem for the Trailblazer postgame show. Utah Tech coming up on the short end of the stick to Utah Valley 92 to 76. And time now to unveil our Stuart Awning player of the game. And thought about giving it to Dario Domingos. 5 for 5 shooting in just under 9 minutes. He had 11 points, but I'm going to go with Jushan Holt. 15 points, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc, 5 of 13 from 3 land, and also had 3 assists. Juice Holt is our Stuart Awning player of the game. Not just that, but he got his hands on a lot of basketballs and forced the issue on some turnovers And so Juice Holt is our Stewart Awning player of the game. He was on the floor quite a bit, and he had a monster block when Hawkins for Utah Valley tried to do a fast break two-handed dunk, and he just rejected him, and the Trailblazer were off and running to the other end. So Juice Holt, our Stewart Awning player of the game. Thank you to Stewart Awning for being a part of Trailblazer basketball. So these two were two of the top three teams in the conference in scoring. Over 80 points a game for Utah Valley, and they scored 92. Trailblazers 78 points per game, and they score 76. They are the top two field goal percentage teams in the conference, and they proved why. Utah Tech finished at 47% and Utah Valley 50% from the floor. And they're the two top teams in the conference in three-point shooting percentage. Utah Tech, 33% from beyond the arc, 32% from beyond the arc for Utah Valley. For Utah Tech, they are number one in the conference in three-pointers made at just under 8 per game. Today they fell short of that number, 6 for 18 from beyond the arc, 6 for 19 for Utah Valley from beyond the arc. Trailblazers, like we mentioned, turned it over 9 times in the first 9 minutes of this ball game, led to some easy buckets for Utah Valley, and Trailblazers finished with 19 turnovers, and that resulted into 23 points off turnovers. Now, Utah Tech forced 14 turnovers on the Wolverines, and that resulted into 17 points off of those turnovers for Utah Tech. Rebounding, that was part of our keys to the game. Trailblazers did not do a good job rebounding Thursday night in California against California Baptist, and Utah Valley was one of the top 2 in the conference in rebounding. And the numbers here, Utah Valley won the rebounding edge 33-31. Offensive rebounds, which really did a lot of damage to the Trailblazers against the Lancers Thursday. Only a 1 rebound offensively a difference, 10-9 in favor of Utah Valley. So they were able to take care of that. Turnovers, though, one of their highest turnovers of the season. Trailblazers only average just under 13 turnovers a game. Today they had 19. Utah Tech, 20 assists on 26 field goals, and Utah Valley, 18 assists on 31 field goals. Utah Valley made 5 more shots than the Trailblazers, and they went to the free throw line 27 times, making 24. Utah Tech 21. Most of those coming in the last 6 minutes of the ball game, and they made 18 of their 21 points. Second chance points, Utah Tech did a nice job. Utah Valley with 15 and Utah Tech with 11 second chance points. Points in the paint, 42 points they gave up against Cal Baptist on Thursday. Utah Tech giving up 46 points to Utah Valley here this afternoon, while dishing out 36 points in the paint for themselves. Trailblazers, their biggest lead was 5. That came with a minute 42 left in the first half. We were tied 6 times. There were 7 lead changes. Utah Tech only had the lead for 3.5 minutes of this ball game at the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half. Otherwise, Utah Valley had the lead for about 31 minutes of this ball game. Utah Tech scored 30 in the first half, 46 in the second. Utah Valley 31 in the first half, 61 coming up in the second half. So we'll take one more quick break and see if Coach Judkins comes out. May not want to talk because it was a frustrating game, to say the least, with all the adversity the Trailblazers had to deal with. So I can understand if he doesn't want to come out and not get in trouble by the hierarchy in the conference. Can't blame him. We'll take a quick break. Be right back.
Welcome to Utah Tech University. From classrooms to cliffs and lectures to lakes. Here, we celebrate active learning, active life. Our Trailblazers learn by doing, are career ready, and solve real problems with real partners to meet community needs. Here, students get the full college experience and choose from 300 affordable academic programs. All in one of the most stunning destinations on Earth. With this as your backyard, life is just as active as your education. Come experience active learning, active life at Utah Tech University.
All right, back here in Orem, we'll wrap things up here on Trailblazer postgame. Rod Zundel here. We're going to give head coach John Judkins a pass. It's a frustrating moment because the Trailblazers had everything right in their hands, and then adversity set in, calls that you didn't agree with, some bounces of the balls that didn't go your way, and it was frustrating because the Trailblazers played well enough, and then they just kind of lost their composure a little bit, and they need to leave the composure losing to me because I do a good job of that. But Utah Tech coming up short by 16, 92-76. We get a rematch. We play these three guys 3 times this year. The rematch, both of those coming up in the Burns Arena. The first one is January 12th, about a month from now, and we get them in Burns Arena. And I can't wait for that matchup because Trailblazers can beat this team. They're every bit as good as Utah Valley. So we are going to get Coach John Judkins here. Had a long discussion with his team in the locker room, and now he will join us.
No, we're just a long ways away, Rod.
There you go, Juddy. Yeah.
They have to walk all the way across the other side, so
Yep.
I'll apologize for that.
That's all right. Juddy, well, I know it was frustrating there at the beginning of the second half. Things were going your way, and then things didn't start to go your way. So we won't talk about the officiating. Things go your way. There were a bunch of phantom fouls. The replays show it. You're not going to say anything about that because you don't want to get in trouble. But I've said it a number of times. There were phantom fouls, and it just seemed to turn the game, and you couldn't quite recover. You guys kind of got flustered.
It was. And I lost my head too, Rod. I mean, I thought Ethan, his fouls he had were just terrible fouls. Yep. It's just you can't adjust. It's hard. Both teams are playing hard. It's a rival game. That's why I told the guy who gave me a tee. It's like, guys, this is a rival game. It's going to be physical, but man, to me, it's just you're not letting both teams do it. You're only letting one, and we have to do better of not expecting calls. I think sometimes our guys are, coach, they're fouling me. We can't do that. We got to be tougher. Again, my technical, that was my fault. We were down 2, I think, when it happened. And then they went on an 8. Yeah, they went on an 8-0 run. We had a 2-1, and then we had a head to the face. They gave them 2 more shots, and it went from 2 to 7, 2 to 8, just really, really fast with the clock not even moving. So that's something I apologize to the team and said it was my bad. I go, but sometimes coaches get teased, and what does it do? It boosts the guys, and it gets them more fired up, and I just didn't see that with our guys. And I wasn't trying to get it. I'm not saying I did.
But Coach, I like that because it had to be said. You had to do something.
Yeah, that's what I told my guys. I said, guys, I'm sticking up for you, and if I feel they're taking advantage of you that way, I got to let them have it. But again, something I have to learn with my team, and maybe this team's not one of those guys that see a coach get upset and respond. But I thought I don't know. You can say we ran out of gas. You can say all these different things. Utah Valley is a good team, and do I think we're as good as they are, better? I do. I just think what the advantage they have right now is, man, they are really bond and glued together. They play really well together. They believe in each other. They support each other, and sometimes we don't have that, and we got to get that back because I thought the games that we had that, we did really well. But hey, this is a tough place to play. They've won 26 home games in a row here. Yeah. We fouled too much. We gave them to the foul line. I mean,
27 times.
The player that we really focused on tonight was number 2, Holcomb. We did a great job with him. But then, Lenhart goes off on us for 26. Yeah. Great point guard. He's a pass-first guy. He really gets his team involved, and he takes what they give him, and I love that. We got to get more of that of our guys, that way, because he's not even close to 26 points average. But tonight was his night. He took what we gave him, and and then Davis has a career night on us too. He goes 10 for 10 or 9 for 9 from the foul line. You know,
for a 64% free throw shooter.
He's not a great. But again, we kept fouling him, and some of them were, some of them weren't. But you know, I just with Madiba out, we gotta try different things, and so it's almost like starting all over again. You know, I gotta find the combinations. We got to get guys in and out faster, you know. And I told my staff that, guys, you got to help me with that. Sometimes I get in the game and forget, hey, this guy's been in too long, and I gotta do better at that. And as a staff, that's something we have to work on. But again, it's a tough one for us to. We're better than what we showed tonight.
In the second half,
Second half, you know, I thought we battled, but. You know, it's tough to win on the road, and we understand that you got to play a perfect game, and we just didn't do that in the second half.
A couple of quick things here. Dario Domingos come in and about 11 points in 9 minutes with a few rebounds as well. He fought hard.
He did some good. When Ethan got in foul trouble, you know, we went to him and he was ready. He did a good job. I mean, like you said, 5 for 5, one for one from a three.
Yeah.
The three he had 4 boards. 11 points. You know, again, the only part they hurt us when he was in the game was they really started to push the ball up.
Yeah.
And their bigs were taking off, and he's got to get back. And that's, you know, if I could play a half-court game with him, he would be incredible. But he has to be able to run the floor, and he has to be able to get back. But again, I thought he gave us some good. Toby came in and made a couple great passes. Did some good things too as well. Maybe I should have gone a little deeper with Dallin or even Preston. Try to get those guys. But again, Ethan just didn't play a lot of minutes with foul trouble, so I didn't feel like I had to go that deep. But our guard Chance was trying love the guy to death, but he was trying too hard.
Yeah.
He was just trying to do it. He wanted to win so bad, and you know, sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad. And I thought Ethan might do that tonight, try to do too much, and he didn't. Well, he didn't play because he's on foul trouble. But we just got to realize that we have to win with a team and lose with a team. We got to play team ball and share it, and we'll get there. We'll get there. But again, it's still early, Rod. It's still really early.
You got them 2 more times in our building before the end of the season. February 12th, the rematch. I'm excited for that because you can beat this team. Like you said, you're every bit as good as this team. They expect to win. When things go tough, I think tonight they were just hoping to get back into it a little bit.
Yeah, they're smart. They're mature. They again, that team bonding that they have. I mean, that's where when games get tight, they don't panic and they just keep going. And their second half, watching film, their second half is normally their better half. And we told them that, hey, they're going to crash the glass. They're going to, you know, we had a couple times crucial ones, air balls, and they get an offensive rebound and we foul them and it changes. But, you know, these guys, again, still it's 4 games into the conference. We got a long ways to go, and just tonight wasn't one of our nights. You know, I thought this weekend was just not a great weekend energy-wise. We talked a little bit about that. Yeah, are we getting sleep? Are we eating good? What are you guys doing? It just feels like we're kind of getting tired. And travel's tough. There's no question. I mean,
against 2 great teams, too.
Well, they're 1 and 2 picked in the conference. Yeah. You know, there's not going to be too many teams that come in and do that, you know, playing those 2 tough teams. But again, there's no excuses. We gotta play better. We gotta play together better, and we will. We'll figure it out.
Well, I can't wait for the rematch.
It'll be fun.
But you've got 2 tough games next week because you got Arlington and Tarleton State. Yeah. Both of those were 2-1, the same as you coming into tonight. So another challenge next week, but you got it at home. That's a chance to really start feeling good about yourself and getting back on track like you were last week.
Yeah, and that's what I told. I mean, guys, they all have film on us, and I guarantee you the scouting report for us right now, these last 2 games, is just be really physical with us, you know, and really get into the screens. And we got to do a better job screening. We got to do a better job reading the screen. When a guy blows you up, you got to back cut. We just kind of stop a little bit, you know, and we got to play through. And so this week in practice, we're going to let them play a little bit more, not call as many fouls. We're going to make them finish things like that, and hopefully nobody gets hurt. That's the that's the tough thing. Yeah. But that's us. And with these teams coming in, that's exactly how they play. They're going to be physical. Yep. We gotta learn from and watch film and get better. We will.
Time to cowboy up.
Cowboy up.
All right, good. Head coach John Judkins, thank you. All right, that'll do it for us here in Orem. Once again, the Trailblazers come up short, 92-76. Utah Tech falling to 9-9 overall, 2-2 in conference play. Next up, next Thursday and Saturday, back in Burns Arena, Arlington on Thursday and Tarleton State on Saturday. That'll do it from here. For Paul Ratliff back in the St. George studio, I'm Rod Zundel. Once again, the final, Utah Tech falling to Utah Valley in the Old Hammer rivalry, 92-76. Have a great afternoon and evening, everybody. See ya.